Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi, and today we're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is another one of these Santa Unkillable series videos. This one is going to be bringing in Taurus as well as Kreela to really maximize the damage as much as we can. Basically show what we could do with an ally attack champion in this team and show how to avoid throwing things off. Honestly, it's not really that much different. The only thing you need to time are the turn orders for those ally attack champions, but it works really well. One of the beautiful things about this comp, because Painkeeper keeps cooling everyone down, is you're able to bring in champions with 4-turn skills and have them work on a 3-turn ratio. So even though the champions are going 1-to-1 to take 1 turn every turn the clan boss takes, we're able to use all the skills that even the ones that are on 4-turn cooldowns on a regular basis. So it's really nice, works really well. I'm pretty happy with it. I think this is actually going to start being, at least for the short term, my typical clan boss team. Pretty excited about it, truth be told. So lots of cool potential here, lots of fun stuff. Let me go ahead. We're going to show you the champions that we're bringing in. I'm going to show you obviously Taurus I showed yesterday in that 4-3 video. Haven't changed anything on them. The one thing we are going to show is Kreela, and that's going to be the difference maker on this one here. So Kreela, as you can see, is we have her going in the fast spot, right? Like the Doom Priest spot. And because for this build, we actually don't need to be all the way at 189. So I have her only at 182, which is fine. It works for this. You can see like she's not maxed out. She doesn't have crazy crit damage, doesn't have crazy attack. And you can see I do have her down the support tree, mostly to maximize her shield for Lord knows what reason. And then we have the life drinker here, so she heals up. And we don't have to worry too much about her A1 ability. This is a great part about it, right? One, the timing of it, because we're lining it up, it's not going to happen at a wrong time. Two, Taurus takes his HP all the way down to 1 and then heals up from Painkeeper. So that shield has very, very little effect on anything. We don't have to worry about it, which is great. Okay, guys, so one of the tricky things you do need to be aware of, and this actually is true for any 4-3 Taurus team with Kreela or not, is that Taurus champion is going to be taking 2 turns before the stun. So they're going to put up the Unkillable on themselves, and then they're going to have another attack. So if you're heavily reliant on them having lower HP, it can be a little bit tricky. Thankfully, the heal from Painkeeper happens first, and so Taurus should use that A2 ability after that. He should use the weakened one, which doesn't heal himself, but Taurus on his A1 gives a self-heal, and if he uses that after the Unkillable, it will throw off the timing. Well, not the timing, but it'll throw off the amount of healing he gets. So it is important to get that healing down at the right time, and because of that, I generally like to manual through the first 2 or 3 cycles just to ensure that we're getting the healing at the right time, and to ensure that Taurus uses that weaken ability right away. It can get a little bit wonky, so I like to get through a couple of the first 2 cycles just to ensure that it's good. Although in theory, as always, you should be able to auto immediately after Sir Nicholas uses that Unkillable ability, but I get a little nervous with some of the stuff sometimes. So I just want to give you guys that heads up. If you're having some trouble with it, that might be part of the reasoning there. But this is a new composition, so if there are some issues, we'll have to kind of figure those out together as we go along. So let's go ahead and jump in the run here and see where we get to. Still on Void, thankfully, so can show you exactly how this works. Now, I'm going to be bringing Kreela in for the Doom Priest spot, as I had explained before in that position there. I think that is the spot you would want to use her in. I can't imagine wanting to use her for something else, quite frankly. So that's where we're going to put her. And so she is the fastest in this team. That's why she does need to be over 179 to ensure that she is the fastest going for this composition. But should work just fine. All right. And we're going to get in. Now, set up exactly the same way, guys. No differences as before. The only difference is obviously going to be timing Kreela's skills, which are important to do. So we got that A1 with Painkeeper. Got the Taurus going. Now, Kreela does prioritize this A3 ability, and that's the one we are going to use right now. Get that increased attack and crit rate. and get that going up there, and hopefully that should make everybody do just a little bit more damage. We're gonna get that shield going from Sir Nick, and then we get the cooldown there, combat tactics, and there we go with the Toxic Nova. Excellent. There goes the attack, and now we're going to do the ally attack right here. This is the one that's going to be reset for us, and so there you go. You can see the ally attack happening right there. Get the heal from Painkeeper. Everybody else kind of just goes as they do. Get that A1 from Sir Nick, and drop that A2 in there, because why not, from Taurus. He takes the stun, and he is just going to tank the stun. We do have Taurus going fast in this comp. This is the one where Taurus is going on a 4-3 ratio, so that's going to be important because we aren't going to be able to cleanse it. That is going to be how we're going to need to do that. And now we get the Unkillable there, and we are in good shape. So I do want to manual this just a little bit to make sure Painkeeper, we don't have as much healing in this composition, so I don't have to worry so much about manualing quite as long. Painkeeper will use her A2 ability, but we do want to ensure that happens, so I do want to manual just a little bit longer than maybe I would normally. Alright, there we go, Sansa's A2 ability. And then we're going to do that Unkillable with Taurus. Here comes the ally attack. Now, one of the things with that ally attack is Taurus will heal himself. He just heals himself naturally on his A1 ability. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to manual just a little bit longer than maybe you need to otherwise with Painkeeper there. And as I had said before, that Kreela spot, you can always bring in another champion. I haven't changed the speeds. I haven't changed the tunes. I'm just making sure that Kreela goes at the appropriate time and should work just fine there. So once we get this Unkillable from Sir Nicholas up, we're pretty much ready to go ahead and click auto. I'm not concerned about our HP at this point. One of the things that was a concern and you want to pay attention to, obviously, is Kreela's ally attack, and then Taurus using his A1 and healing up prematurely. Well, it's an issue for the first couple cycles, but at this point, Kreela, as you can see, is going to go ahead of Taurus, and there he goes with the Toxic Nova, taking his HP down to 0. We no longer have to worry about him getting a HP influx prematurely. He's always going to have that lowest HP percentage on the team from this point forward, which means that he's going to be taking the stun, and because of that, this composition is going to work just perfectly. So why don't you guys enjoy, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay guys, that was the Ultra Nightmare run. Let's show you the Nightmare run so you can see the difference as far as the turn order setup. It's not a whole lot different from what we had to begin with, so should be pretty easy to follow. As we jump in here, it's going to be almost identical, just a little bit of delay. So we got the A1 going off with Painkeeper to begin and just get it knocked on out. And then we're going to go ahead and follow that up. Taurus is going to do their thing. A little bit slow, obviously, because I'm actually running it. And we can go ahead and use the ally attack right from the get-go with Kreela, which is kind of a nice little bonus right there. So that's one little thing that changes. Then everybody else can use their DPS stuff as they will. Santa with the A2 with the shield, always on that first attack, is important. And that's the first turn. So we keep going. Painkeeper's going to use their A1 there. We're going to go ahead and use A1 from Taurus as well. We want to wait to use that Unkillable till before the stun. There goes Kreela using the increase crit rate and attack. There's the combat tactics on Painkeeper's second attack. And then Sir Nick's going to go ahead and use that A1 there. Pretty interchangeable, the A2, the A1. Eventually the A2 will always come after the cooldown, just based off of the turn orders and the prioritizations. Here we go with Kreela's ally attack. Boom, boom, boom. And just as before, eventually she will do that before Taurus goes. There's the A2 from Painkeeper. And we're pretty much in sync at the A2 from Taurus. That is important to make sure that you have that clicked. Here we're going to use the A2, but like I said, it will eventually come right after combat tactics for Sir Nicholas. And there's the stun. Now we come back A1. We need to manual this for the first couple cycles per usual. In Nightmare, they don't do as much damage as Ultra Nightmare, so maybe even a little bit longer just to be safe would not be a bad plan. There goes the A1 again with Painkeeper. Here's the Unkillable, and now we're in sync. At this point, the real question is how long does it take us to fully fall into sync, but in theory, we could go ahead and click auto right now. And it should work just fine. But you can see we're going to go ahead and do the combat tactics so we manual just a little bit. Actually, it is on auto right now. I did it earlier, and you can see it's just going to flow right through. There's the ally attack coming before the Toxic Nova of Taurus, which he uses right there. And yeah, we're perfectly in sync, guys. It's going to work just fine. So that's the team. Enjoy the Nightmare run. Okay, guys, those are the runs. That's it for my Sir Nicholas compositions. I think that kind of covers it all. I mean, you got a wide range of ways to do damage with this team, and a wide range of champions you can bring in to make it work for you. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Having a weak affinity stun target really is helpful. But I think between Taurus and Skull Crusher, you have everything covered. It's just going to be dependent on which one you want to use and for which situations, what's going to be best for you as well. And the champions that you have to be able to bring in is always going to make a difference. So this isn't going to be as useful for everybody. It's not as budget friendly as, say, like the budget Unkillable with Maneater and Painkeeper, but it's close. It's still pretty darn good, I would say. So I'm sure because of this, I know people are going to be discovering ways to do a Maneater Santa Unkillable or a Santa Maneater version of this using Taurus and Skull Crusher to for their affinity stuns and stuff, taking out the budget part of it. I know that stuff is out there. It not discovered yet. It will be soon, but I'm not concerned about that because right now, if you have a Maneater set, I wanted to make something out there that other people could do. So this is the Santa version, which isn't out there. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I think this gives you a wide range of ways to make unkillable teams now. But we're going to keep our eyes out for the future. We're going to continue to look for new things and continue to try new stuff. So if you like this, guys, you know what to do. Subscription, notification, like this video, comment down below. What do you think of this, guys? Do you think this is better? Is it better to bring in Kreela, or should we just stick with Skull Crusher? It's an arguable statement. Are there other DPSs you would rather use instead of the ones I'm using? I don't know. You let me know, guys. This is a pretty cool team. I'm very happy with it. Pretty proud of the whole composition in general. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.